Hi everybody, and welcome to another segment of The Buff Life. Thanks so much for watching. So today I come to you with a heavy heart because a rapper by the name of Nipsey Hussle was shot and killed. He's 33 years old, and he wasn't just any rapper. There's a lot of rappers, but he was a rapper that gave back to his community. He didn't just take his money and run. He said, you know what, I'm going to invest back into my community, and that community was Compton, California. But this is a community that not a lot of people invest in. They just consider it to be a hard part of town. When I am from California and I've been to Compton, I love Compton. I love it very much because I love the people that are there. Those are people that I relate to. I understand. They understand me. I never had a problem there. But apparently, you know, there are Crips and Bloods there, and there are a lot of, you know, those gang issues dominate that area. But there are real human beings there who are just like me and you. And it, like I said, I love the community, and apparently he loved that community because he saw fit to reinvest in that community. And you know, the funny part of all this is that that he got, you know, shot and killed. To me is that I just was watching a documentary about Nipsey Hussle probably a month or two ago, and I was like, about time they did a documentary on Nipsey Hussle. I love Nipsey Hussle. I love his music. Okay, and it's just sad to me that someone decided to take his life. So this is how it happens. He was in front of his clothing store, and apparently this guy by the name of Eric Holder was there too, and apparently they exchanged words. Whatever they said, it resulted in Nipsey telling this guy, I don't want you to come back around here. Well, this guy's ego got bruised, and he took off and pissed off, and he comes back with a gun, and he shoots at Nipsey Hussle, and he kills him. He shoots him 3 times and takes off running to a car that's parked in the alleyway. Now, they say that there was somebody waiting, the getaway driver, that it was a woman, okay? So, fast forward along. He gets taken into the hospital. He's pronounced dead. They say that they have footage of him, you know, being shot. They broadcast this video footage for everyone to see that they did see someone there. So, I think they did it for 2 reasons. One, that's just the paparazzi. That's how news works. But 2, it flushes out the guy that did it because they saw a better image quality than we did. And they knew who it was. So he didn't really stand a chance, thank God. So anyway, so now the reason I decided to do this right now is because just as I was sitting there editing another video, the flash came on my phone from TMZ that they have possibly arrested the assailant, in other words, Eric Holder, who I believe he's a Blood. I'm not sure if he's a Blood or not. Don't quote me on that, but he is a gang member, and he, they believe they say he possibly has been arrested. Now, I don't know, between me filming this and you seeing this, that they've already actually said that, yeah, we arrested. I think they're going to announce that tomorrow morning at 8:30 in the morning, and I'll be sure to watch that. But I'm reading further down onto TMZ, and TMZ is reporting that they spoke to the young woman who was driving that vehicle. And in her words, she says she had no idea that this gentleman, Eric Holder, did anything. He never said anything when he got back in the car, and she just drove off. Now, mind you, when they went and initially asked her if she knew Eric Holder, she's like, I don't know him that well. I mean, we got to know each other for a bit. But when they checked on the registration of the vehicle, it belonged to her and Eric Holder. So apparently she knew him a lot better. So as they persisted to talk to her, she said, well, I'm going to contact the police department to clear my name. As of 30 minutes ago, she had not contacted the police department to clear her name. She hung up the phone on them and stopped talking to them. So we'll see what happens with that. But I can't imagine that somebody goes off and shoots someone and runs off and gets in the vehicle, and you can't tell something just happened, because it would seem like their adrenaline would be pumping. They still have a gun in their hands, or whatever the case is, or you could just see the turmoil in their face. So I'm kind of find the story a little hard to believe right now. So anyway, that's what has happened. So let's talk about Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle was a great rapper who gave back to his community. He decided to take his money, invest it, and open up different things in the community. A strip mall, basically. He had his clothing store in there. There was a barber shop, and I believe there was going to be a Creole restaurant opening up. He already had, I think, joint ventures, or either he completely owned a workspace in that community that helped kids be able to, kids are people that needed to focus in business-minded things or events to get together in that workspace. So he wasn't one of those people that just said, damn my community, I got this money now, I don't need them. He wasn't like that. He helped people for real. He gave from his heart, and he always had inspiring words. And what was so inspiring for me is the fact that I just watched about 2 months ago a documentary on Nipsey Hussle. And I was telling somebody then, I was like, he doesn't get enough credit, because Nipsey Hussle is a very, very nice person. And he really is sincere from his heart. And I just wanted to see him do so many great things. He put me in the mind Tupac, because he spoke into life what he was going about and what he was about. And I loved his music. And then my heart just goes out, because he has children. I think he has one with Lauren London, and then another child. And it just knocked me off my feet, because I was like, why Nipsey Hussle? Why him? And it was just like hard to believe, but it's happened. And I'm just really tired of these things happening to good people, to people that don't deserve it. It's just time to get rid of all these guns. It's really sad when you got a grown man whose ego is so fractured, he feels like he needs to put a gun in his hand to solve the issue. What happened to the old school way of doing it? You speak your words, you either agree to disagree, or you box it out. You don't pick up a gun and go and take somebody's life. Was it really worth it? So now you gonna spend your natural life in prison probably, or you might get, I don't know if they have the death penalty in California, I don't remember. But you cold-bloodedly murdered somebody for just telling you they don't want you around their store anymore, which they have every right to do. I don't know. It's just very frustrating. I feel so much hurt for Lauren London, her son, his other child, his family, his mother, his father, his friends, his aunts. I mean, people, the community had a vigil last night that even got interrupted in violence. You can't even mourn people these days without violence happening. It's just unbelievable. But, it was just with heavy heart, hearing that. And it's a lot of people, a lot of celebrities came out, and I was really happy to see that they spoke out. But it's just, whoever he met, he touched their lives. This is a person you cannot forget. You got to let his legacy continue. Just like Tupac. Tupac was a great lyricist. I mean, you got to respect, if you can't respect anything else about him, his lyricism alone was just magnificent. So, I just wanted to reach out and say to everybody who knew of Nipsey Hussle, who knows about him and his music, make sure you listen to his music. Make sure you keep his legacy alive. And remember that he was actually supposed to be meeting with this council to determine how the LAPD and him or his organization can get together and renew a relationship between LAPD and try to conquer this whole gang life and get things rolling in the right direction. So he had already reached out to the LAPD, and they had a meeting scheduled, and it's just sad. Now, let's talk about, before we go any further, about these theories they got. I'm sorry, I had to get something to drink. I've seen a lot of theories going, like conspiracy theorists saying that because Nipsey Hussle was working on a movie that he was going to do about Dr. Sebi. And now Dr. Sebi is a natural herbalist who talked about how he cured AIDS, STDs, all these different diseases and cancer, and he actually had patients. Now here's the thing about that. This man did not lie. He had actual patients. He cured 13 patients of HIV. Okay? So, if you don't know about Dr. Sebi, look him up. He was actually working with Lisa Left Eye Lopez when she died. When you saw her and she looked kind of gaunt, that's because she went for a purification and toxification with him, and he was teaching her how to eat natural herbs, clean those bad things out of her body. And she even spoke about it before she got from there. She was talking about that, and she encouraged others to come on that path, because he was doing it, and they took him. They tried him in court, and they said they tried to get him for practicing medicine without a license and making all these false claims. So this happened to him, right? And so when he gets to court, he asks them three main questions. The first one is, he's like, in the Bible, does Jesus talk about herbs and eating certain things that keep your body whole and pure? And they said yes. He said okay. He asked them, I forgot the other two questions, but they pertain to the fact of, did all the patients that he cured, he had their documented medical records from all the providers that they went to telling them that they had cancer, they had HIV. Those are the records he had. And then he showed what he was giving. He was giving them natural herbs. And there was one patient who had HIV, and he was on the natural herbs that he was giving him for 60 days. And so he went back to his doctor, and he had no signs of HIV. It has been 13 years now, and this guy does not have HIV anymore. So you have to really look into what Dr. Sebi was saying, and that's why they're saying this conspiracy theorist is saying that that's what it is, a conspiracy to help Nipsey Hussle, because he was going to talk about Dr. Sebi and the things that he was capable of doing, and not getting out here and getting all these things. The one thing I would definitely tell you is Dr. Sebi said mucus causes disease. So if we can get rid of the mucus, we can get rid of the disease. That's awesome. I actually just started reading more on Dr. Sebi, so if any of you are watching us, you need to check out Dr. Sebi and look into that. And I still hope that somebody else will pick up what Nipsey Hussle was doing and continue to make that movie about Dr. Sebi. I mean, it's some great directors out there, some black directors, that I would love to let them get their hands on this and work their magic on it and make sure that people got, to see this. So that's what one of the conspiracy theorists was. So I'm just saying, I don't think it was about that. I do think this guy just had words with Nipsey Hussle, and he had his ego fractured, and he did decide that he wanted to shoot and kill him. But anyway, keep your prayers out for his family, his loved ones, and his children. Let's keep praying for him. I know Nipsey Hussle's in a better place, but I'm just sad to see a soul like that go. Thanks so much for tuning into The Buff Life. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye. Hey, no, no, no.